It's your boy Tunnel Vision, and we back for another one. Killing two birds with one stone. See this pomegranate? See how big that is? It ain't supposed to, they're not supposed to be this big. This giant, look at this thing. It's like you can bowl with this thing. That's what, all the matchroom fighters on. They keep failing them drug tests. They're on this bad boy right here. But anyway, man, let's get to the video, man. Today I want to talk about, the rumors that have been kind of, been going out about, damn, what the fuck is wrong with this thing? Oh, come on, man. Damn. There we go. You know what I mean? Now I want to talk about the rumors, man, about what's going on with Wilder's pay-per-view numbers. You know what I'm saying? Those rumors that were spilling out about it, quote, being only 2,500 pay-per-views that were sold, which is completely asinine if you really think about it. Now, the rumors came from a guy named Glacier, I guess whatever his name, Glacier, I guess whatever the hell his name is. It first started from a forum. Literally, this whole rumor started from a forum. They want this man to fail so bad, they're gonna just take whatever word that somebody on the forum says that it quote sold 2,500 pay-per-views, and and he gave this guy Glacier, whatever his name, credit for putting out that information. So I guess then the guy Glacier goes to the Boxing Voice and he says, he said, nah, that was a lie, and that, either they said that he didn't give the numbers or that they misunderstood him or whatever, which I don't understand what exactly that would be. And, because it makes no sense. Like, really, like 2 point something million people are watching all these shows that they're putting on that pertains to this guy. Record numbers when it comes to these shows being put on Fox, right? And then on top of that, what? He was more than 10,000, because I know Dan Raphael said there was, quote, 10,000 people that were at the arena, which is BS. Because the good thing about in America, maybe not the same like in the UK and other places, the commissions will give you the numbers. The commissions will give you the purses of the fighters. You know what the purses are, and the commissions will also let you. The commissions will also let you know, exactly how many people, whether it be 10,302, 10,002. Whatever the numbers, but they'll give you an exact numbers. Never anything like a round number like 10,000. Never. And then they'll also, not only that, they'll also tell you how many tickets were actually purchased, and they'll tell you how many tickets were comped. That's why when you see like Top Rank saying with Tyson Fury, 7,000 tickets sold, to the event, then it turned out, no, that wasn't the case. There weren't the 7,000 people there, but when it came to actual tickets bought, there was only 3,500 tickets that were actually bought for that event, because and the rest were all comps. They'll give you that information as well. So as far as the gate, that won't be hard to find. In the next couple of days, they should be giving the actual gate and how many people actually, how many tickets actually were purchased. But I know about, close to the last couple of days of that fight, there were not that many tickets that were actually available. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that he sold out the event, but he did good sales, and the tickets are high as hell. And I kind of find it kind of funny how even with the 10,000 tickets number, how people bash that, yet they weren't bashing Canelo for only selling 10,000 tickets for his last event, and what was supposed to be a big huge fight with him going up in weight. You know what I mean? And he was supposed to be he's supposed to be, what do you call it, the face of boxing. But no one said anything about that though, about his numbers dropping the way that they were. But, it is what it is. But the thing I want to talk about is that, why exactly is this coming out? Why exactly are they putting out the BS numbers? Why is that everybody so eager to know what the, Deontay Wilder's pay-per-view numbers are anyway right now? Because the numbers don't usually come out for about 2 weeks. That's when you usually get the actual numbers. Sometimes you'll hear somebody pop off something, give out a number after a week or so. They might say, hey, so far they've counted, this amount or whatever. And they'll just give you a number and try to kind of, before what they'll do is like, let's say a week, it's been a week and 300,000 pay-per-views have been counted. They'll just say, oh, you know what I'm saying? They sold 3,000 pay-per-views. Even though they're still counted, even though, the numbers are still tracking up, and they're trying to get all the information from other places to get the real number of what they kind of, what they think it is, whether it be 400, 450,000. But it's like, let's just grab onto the first number, kind of like they did with Andre Berto versus Floyd Mayweather. The first thing you heard was like 300 and Was like 300,000 pay-per-views or something like that. Then it went to 350. Then it went to 4, and I guess it ended up that it sold like 500,000 pay-per-views. And why exactly are they doing this? I think the thing is that, I mean, these, especially when it comes to a company like PBC, they're dominating the game right now. They're just completely dominating. I mean, you can not like PBC for whatever reason, but the reality is they're dominating the game. There's no comparison when it comes to their viewership numbers at all. That's why when you see articles that'll trash, let's say, a viewership numbers for PBC, they'll compare them with PBC numbers. They don't compare it to anybody else. They're completely dominating the boxing market. They have most of the talent. They're bringing in the highest gates. You could say, okay, yeah, Matchroom might have one fighter. Golden Boy DAZN might have 1-2 fighters. ESPN might have 1-2 fighters. Really, just one fighter that's really bringing in any kind of gates or higher viewerships, which is Terrence Crawford. That's it. And that's one of the reasons why they've stuck his tail in ESPN Plus, because they're trying to bring his numbers down, and they won't give him any real opponents for whatever reason. But besides that, I mean, PBC is killing them. Even their mid-tier, boxing events will still do 1 million views. They'll do 1.5. They'll do 1.7. They'll do 2 million views. That's just normal numbers for them. You got multiple fighters that bring in, high gate numbers. Earl Spencer do 15,000 plus. Keith Thurman do 7, 8, 9,000 plus. You know what I'm saying? You got Tank Davis to do, 14, 15,000 plus. They got a lot of people. You put somebody like a Santa Cruz against the right person, he's done 10, 11, 12, 13,000. Like, you got even the Charlo brothers. Now they're headlining shows doing 6, 7, 8,000. They're doing 1.7, 2 million views. They got a lot of people that are doing this. A lot of people that are doing this on their side. So what they used to previously do was they would wait till numbers came out. First, they would just bash and trash whatever the event was that was happening early. And then after trashing the event, once the numbers came out, they would just lie. Say, oh, it's a lie. It's a lie. Those numbers aren't real. Even if the numbers came from the commission, like, oh, wow, they only sold 6,000 tickets. Doesn't matter what the event is. It's always 6,000 tickets. Oh, it just sold 6,000 tickets. It just sold 6,000 tickets. That's what they would always say. Give that round number. It didn't matter what the event was. But what the new plan is, I guess, what it seems that they're doing now is that what they'll do is it's like, instead of us, saying, oh, they're lying when it comes to the numbers, what they're doing is saying, hey, let's get all the way in front of it. Let's get all the way in front of it, and let's just put out a BS number. We'll put out a BS number, whether it comes to the gate, whether it comes to the the pay-per-views, whatever. We'll just put out a BS number. And then when the real numbers come out, we'll just say, oh, they're just lying. They're just lying. That's not what the number is. It only did, 40,000 views on pay-per-views. It only did, 50,000 pay-per-views. That's all it did. And the numbers that they're putting out there is lies. And that's what it basically is. They want this organization to fail so bad for whatever reason. They want it to fail so bad, and they keep on trying to belittle it. They keep on trying to trash it, but they keep on succeeding, and they keep on progressing. I mean, they're clearly doing something right, and everybody else keeps on trying to do things the opposite way. Keep trying to force feed people fights that they don't want to see. Keep trying to push the narrative that, hey, this fighter's great, this fighter's great, this fighter's great, this fighter's great, and thinking that old model of doing things is somehow going to work. Despite how many times it fails, it doesn't matter. They still keep on doing it. Kind of like with DAZN right now. DAZN's new thing is they really are trying to get the Mexican market. And that's why they want to sign Mikey Garcia so bad. And that's why when it comes to Chavez Jr., even though this man tested, was refused to take a drug test, they still want to push that fight so bad because for whatever reason they think, hey, just his name and them putting it on the network, that sometimes people are going to buy DAZN to watch that fight, which isn't the case. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to Top Rank, they're on their Eastern European thing where they really want to push the Eastern European narrative. Those are the guys that they want to be big. They want to push the Tyson Furies. They want to push the Lomachenkos. And regardless of what a Terrence Crawford could be if you push him, that's not what they're really focused on. What they're focused on is the Lomachenkos, and they're focused on the Tyson Fury. And they want to do whatever they can to make them big. They're pushing all the investments. They're pushing all the money into trying to, make those guys into superstars. That's what they want to do. They put so much money and so much effort into Tyson Fury. They got low viewership when it comes to ESPN Plus and him being there. And they got low gates. All that money they invested in him, they got low gates. They went from, and not only that, they went from 5,000 to 3,500 because they're not putting out the fights that people want to see. Terrence Crawford isn't going to do any big numbers because he's not fighting anybody. They're not, and they forget even to promoting him. They're not putting him in there in fights that people want to see. And regardless of what people might say when it comes to the PBC or certain events, oh, this event, no, people still watch them. People are watching the events. People trying to trash that Tank, that Tank versus Gamboa fight. That fight's gonna do 600,000 plus views on Showtime, and that fight's gonna do 15,000 plus people at that gate. And those ain't no cheap tickets either. They don't. It's not like they have putting these like super cheap tickets like the Jaime Munguia fight where you can get front rows for $200 and you can get tickets for as cheap as $25. They're not doing that. Jaime Munguia fight, no one even knows that. I don't know if people even know that he dropped his belt and that he moved up to 160 pounds. You know, and a fight that it might probably, I'm figuring they're trying to set a fight up for Canelo Alvarez for either his next fight or the fight after that. I'm figuring it's probably going to be against Jaime Munguia at 160 pounds. You know, but it's not working. You know, it's not working, and their focus is still the same. Let's trash these people. Let's try to belittle their numbers. Let's try to belittle their fighters. Let's try to belittle the events. They've been doing this for years, and it hasn't worked, and PBC has continued to grow. They've continued to progress. Now they've gone into Fox, and they're pushing a lot of their fights on regular Fox, and Fox is believing in them. They're not only believing in them, they're pushing it hard. And the whole focus of Fox is us promoting American fighters. We're going to promote and push American fighters. And we're going to push them hard. Because guess what? Because they actually relate to, guess who? Americans. And, you know, they're going to continue to progress because of this. They're going to continue to progress. And regardless of how much negativity these people try to spew, regardless of how much they try to push this negative narratives, regardless of how they try to trash the likes of a Deontay Wilder, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. They've tried this for years. They're using a formula that does not work. It's proven not to work, but they're choosing to stick to it. You know, and we see what's been happening so far. We'll see what the next 3 to 4 years has to hold. But from what I'm seeing, it's going to be the same old thing. There's one entity continuing to dominate the landscape while everybody else is stuck in their old ways, dying slowly. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.